Good morning, y'all. It's a frosty one today. Looking at 24 degrees right now. So I came down in one of the parking lots. We had a ton of wind yesterday. The night before, I thought my house was gonna lift off and land on some golden paved sidewalk somewhere. It didn't happen because I would have been out there chipping away at that sidewalk, baby. However, it is what it is. It's still a beautiful day. The Potomac right here is completely frozen over. All the way across. It looks like you could walk it if you were insane. However, the wind didn't do me any good out here at my park. There's a trash can right there that looks like the lid was blown off of it. So all the contents of it, of course, are now scattered across the parking lot. So I have a lot of work cut out for me right now. There is some stuff over here that looks like it's all piled up in one spot. It looks like maybe someone dropped it out of their car. But I'm going to go ahead today and contribute all the trash in the parking lot to the wind blowing it out of that trash can right there. So, but I'm just working on the last bit of my coffee right here before I get out in the temperature. So I just kind of want to do my trash rant real quick. There's a bunch of birds standing out on the Potomac. I've seen it like this before, and the bald eagles will come down and scoop up fish, and they'll fly out. When it's cold like this, they don't eat all of the fish. They eat really just the fat out of the fish. So they leave a good bit of the fish carcass for all the rest of the birds. And a lot of times, there is just like bloody carcasses, you know, like landmines all over the Potomac. I don't see that now. But I have seen that in the past, so 'tis what it is, right? So here goes my trash rant. First, I want to say, if you're listening, you guys are the best. You don't have to. I do this only because I like talking to myself. But because I can admit that, I'm not crazy, right? It's only when you talk to yourself and you deny it that you're crazy. I talk to myself. I'm not answering myself, at least yet. So, really quick, I just wanted to point out a couple things about social media that I think we all kind of fall victim to. And we have to understand that social media is a double-edged sword. In one aspect, it's a tool that I like to use for marketing your brand, networking, you know, keeping in touch with people from your past. Photography, I love that about Instagram, that you can just see the whole full spectrum of amateur and professional photography on Instagram, and I love that. It's my favorite. But on the flip side, it's a tool used like a recruitment tool for the left and the right. So they'll post a story up and they'll just give you little bits of information about that story, and that's really to provoke outrage. And depending on how you're outraged will depend on what side you start to drift towards, left or right. I like to consider myself a middleist. I do share some right views, I share some left views, but for the most part, I think there's a bald eagle right there, flying away with the fish, as a matter of fact. Back on subject. Be very careful when you read a story because you don't want to be sucked into that outrage. But you also have to be very careful if you think you're reading the whole story, you're probably not. So what I like to do is not really read into the stories at all. But there was a certain story that was posted recently that I got a little upset about. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I wasn't outraged so much by why everybody else was outraged. I took a different approach to that story. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll share with you. There was a demonstration on the mall where there was a Catholic school. There was also some other people that were demonstrating on the mall as well. Well, they all came together somehow. And so the image that you saw on social media was a young kid wearing a MAGA hat standing in front of a native elder. Now, I'm not going to go into the story too much because you can just pull it up and do whatever you want with it. But I'm going to explain to you why I was a little upset. And I made 3 comments on social media, and I want to be responsible for those comments. So I'm going to give you an explanation for it. When I first saw the photo, I did not read into the story. And my comment was, punk kid. When I saw it a second time, someone that I know posted it, so I kind of read a little bit more into the story. And I made the comment that this kid has never been humbled with a butt whooping, and mommy and daddy seem to keep him fairly safe. The third time, another person I know posted it. I read a little bit more into the story, but not too far. And my comment then was, where are all the adult chaperones? So let me explain why I was upset. I wasn't upset that this kid was wearing a MAGA hat. I wasn't upset that he was demonstrating on the mall. I was upset about that photo because what I saw in it was a 16-year-old kid, a youth, standing in front of an elder with a complete look of disrespect on his face. And I am 100% about respecting your elders no matter what their walk of life is, okay? Now, we have a big problem in the society nowadays where if we don't agree with someone, that we're supposed to dislike that person. And you can disagree with someone and they can be your best friend. I have great friends and I don't agree with everything that they talk about. And a lot of people don't agree with me at all, period, the end. But they tend to like me. And I think, one, it's because I'm a fairly honest dude. So when I saw, so all my comments were based around the respect factor there. I thought it was a bit absurd that he's wearing a Make America Great Again hat standing in front of a Native American. That I found a little funny. Because if you really want to make America great again, let's give all this stolen land back to him, right? Because that's what happened. We stole the land from him. I wouldn't have any problems with, all social media going away and waking up in the morning and hunting and fishing and growing my own food and supporting my family like that. I think that would be the cat's meow. We don't live in that world. We do live in a world where parents need to teach their children to respect their elders. Now, in my opinion, that kid should have gotten out of his way. He should have sat on the bleachers and listened and learned and take notes. Because at 16 years old, you're still a child. Very much a child. You may think that you're an adult, and you may pull off a heinous crime. They may charge you as an adult, but you are 100% a child, and you need to respect your elders at all times, regardless of their walk of life, regardless of what you believe in. Don't stand in their way. Get out of their way. In fact, clear the path for them to speak, regardless if that's your message. Be respectful. Know that we can have disagreements with people and still love them as brothers and sisters. And always 100% respect your elders. Don't ever forget that. We're losing that. And a lot of this is because of that double-edged sword of social media where they're using videos and stories like that and content and provocative photos like the young kid standing in front of the Native American as that recruiting tool for the left and the right. Be an individual. Remember, you can be a part of a group, but choose that group wisely because you may be a part of a cult, okay? If everybody in a group all believe the same thing, that might be a cult, okay? So choose your group wisely, but first and foremost, be an individual. Always be an individual. Respect your elders 100% of the time. Clear a path for them. If you need to move someone out of the way, you may have to do that, okay? But basically the point of this is go throughout life respectfully, okay? Everybody you meet, show them respect. A lot of people say respect is earned and not given, but I gotta be honest with you, I don't 100% agree with that. I believe that you should treat people with respect, whether they've earned it or not, okay? There's gonna be a time where you can say, okay, this person doesn't deserve my respect, but allow that time to come. Allow that time to say, this person doesn't deserve my respect, okay? But if you meet someone, you've met someone, and you've known them for a week, a month, maybe even a year, that may not be long enough. But if that person is your elder, black, white, purple, pink, Native American, you need to respect them. Those people have earned respect. Maybe not your respect, but the mass respect. And you need to show that. And if you're a parent, okay, stop preaching hate. If your kid hates something, it's probably because you have taught your child to hate that. And if your child hates a group of people for whatever reason, you're the cause. So police up your own backyard, okay? And let your children go out into this world respectfully, all right? No matter what hat they're wearing, okay? I don't dislike that story because of that kid's hat. I think it's kind of a bogus hat. But those are my beliefs. I'm not going to get into that right now. But that child, I'm going to refer to him as a child, needs to respect his elders all the time. And teachers, if you're going to take a group of puppies out into the world, okay, you have to understand that puppies like to roll around and poop, and you can't bring that back in the house. So chaperone, be there. You cannot take 100 children to the mall and allow them to just jump up and down and chant anything, okay? You need to be an adult chaperone, even to 16-year-old kids, even to 17-year-old kids, okay? When they turn 18, let the police handle that. But when they're in your school, okay, you need to take care of that, okay? So really, if I'm going to shame on anybody there, I shame on that kid's parents, and I shame on the chaperones of that school. So, with all that said, I'm going to get out and take care of my business. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for listening to me talk. I love you, and I hope everything goes great inside your life and on social media. And if you have to go out and hunt and fish and grow your own food, do that. It's the healthiest thing you could possibly do. I love you guys. Take care.